Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Together We Shine. This week's bhavana is make peace with your memories. So, because that's sort of a big one, let's take a moment just to chat about what it means first, as the asana portion of the practice may not look that different than what you would encounter in a normal studio setting. The why behind it is really what makes it significant. Our mind, according to the yogic view, has four unique components that each serve their own function. One of those is manas, and manas is the part of the mind that is very similar to AI, artificial intelligence. It gathers data from our five senses, and based on the data that it has gathered in the past as well, it can provide an instantaneous reaction to the new data upon entry, which allows us to navigate the external world in a way that increases the likeliness of our survival. That's manas. Then we have ahamkara. Ahamkara is the part of the mind that identifies as me and identifies certain objects as mine. And let's consider thoughts and behaviors and beliefs objects as well. Its most prized possession, its favorite object, is self-identity. And it has been working feverishly since moment one to create a self-identity that it will do virtually anything it possibly can to defend. That's ahamkara. Then we have chitta. Chitta is the storehouse of memory. Chitta is said to reside in the lower lotus of the heart. So there's an important part of the mind that is said to exist within the spiritual heart center, the lower lotus of the heart, right? Chitta is this storehouse of memory where every impression, every thought, every feeling is stored as information devoid of meaning. Ahamkara is the meaning maker, but that meaning does not make its way into the heart. So often we think of our heart as that which lends emotion, feeling to our life. And this would suggest otherwise, that chitta really is just where our memories are stored, and all of the meaning that we associate with these different memories comes from ahamkara, the I maker, the meaning maker. And then the fourth component is buddhi. And buddhi is what we might reference as higher mind. It is the part of the mind that is more evolved, more individuated, if you will, than the AI portion of the mind, manas. Buddhi is the part of the mind that grants us the power to see clearly, to see thoroughly, to discern real from unreal, truth from illusion. It also gives us clear access to our own conscience and allows us to discriminate right from wrong, and then consciously choose how we're going to navigate life. For the purpose of this practice, we're going to be working with chitta specifically, chitta being the storehouse of memory, and an aspect of chitta, a way that we can engage with chitta, is something called chitta kash. Akasha is the Sanskrit word for the element of space or ether. And when we use the word or the term chittakash, what we're referring to is this space within the mind field, the field of awareness, upon which we're able to project the memories that are stored in chitta, the memories that are stored in the heart. So by accessing Chittakash, we can actually invite memories up onto this screen, if you will, in the mind field that when we have the eyes closed, it's almost like we're looking at the inside of the eyelids, except it extends beyond that because the mind actually extends beyond the boundaries of the physical body. Why would we want to do this? We want to invite memories to come up into our conscious purview so that we can see them utilizing buddhi, our power of discernment, our own direct line to wisdom and truth, to sort of reassess different events in our lives devoid of the meaning that we have assigned to them, to see if maybe it's time to assign a different meaning or change our relationship with them so that any limiting thought constructs, emotions, or beliefs that we may have associated previously can be replaced with something that will actually move us in the direction of greater peace, greater freedom, and possibly even greater fulfillment. So this is a yogic technique that we can utilize to make peace with our memories. Before we begin, just take a moment to consider in what ways you may be stuck in a seemingly endless conflict within yourself, potentially warring factions of your identity. Would you like to have a more peaceful internal environment, an environment in which all sides are duly considered, acknowledged, understood, and integrated into a seamless, healthy whole? If you would like that, then I hope this practice will help. All right, so we're going to be leaning into spaciousness by utilizing some gentle back bends and lateral postures, but we're going to move quite slowly so that we can really be present to what is opening up through our movement and through our breath. And at various points in the practice, I'll invite you to close the eyelids and to look through the backs of the eyelids onto this screen of the mind upon which we will eventually be able to project a memory or two. Okay, cool? All right, let's do it. So go ahead and come onto your mats. And we'll actually start in Shavasana today. Always trying to get the perfect angle. That looks okay. Okay, it was me. I had frozen. Now I'm back. So give yourself a moment just to settle into your Shavasana. And remind yourself of the symbolism of Shavasana. Shava being that which is devoid of Shiva, Shiva being consciousness. So a Shava is an entity, a form devoid of consciousness. Another word for that might be a corpse, a body without a soul. Every time we come into Shavasana, Specifically at the end of practice, we're given an opportunity to let our current identity die so that we might leave behind anything that we have managed to outgrow and just come back to life with that which still serves us. Everything else can be let go. So for now, utilize Shavasana as an opportunity to let the day, the week, the month, the year thus far go in the interest of being that much more present with what is right here and right now. And let's just take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. At your own pace is fine. Two more times. And let's bend the knees for now and bring the arms alongside the body, palms facing down. On the next inhale, just reach the fingertips toward the ceiling and then keep the arms moving up and over until the backs of the hands and arms are on the ground. And on exhale, float the arms back down. Let's take a 5-count inhale again to sweep the arms up and overhead. And a 4-count exhale to bring them back down. Now a 6-count inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4-count exhale. 7-count inhale, just reaching the arms up and over. 4-count exhale. And now an 8-count inhale to sweep the arms up and over. And again, 4 counts to bring the arms back down. Extend the legs long again. Flex the feet and press through the soles of the feet. Then reach the arms up and over once more. Either just continue to extend out through the wrists and the ankles, or maybe interlace the fingers and flip the palms so the palms are pointing away from the top of the head. And then reach the shoulder girdle and the pelvis in opposite directions, stretching out through the wrists and ankles, through the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands, creating some space. Keep reaching for 3, 2, 1 more full breath. And then just relax, but keep the arms and legs extended. From here, let's walk the feet over to the right side of the mat. So your right ankle or heel will be on the right edge of the mat, and you'll bring your left foot over next to it, maybe crossing the ankles. And I like to find a little internal rotation to create some space through the lower back, but also to kind of lock the legs together with minimal effort. Keep the pelvis as it is, and then scoot the shoulders just an inch or 2 over to the right. So you're creating a crescent arch through the side body. Bend the left elbow and hook the arm around the back of the head, and then turn the chin toward the right shoulder and place the palm of the right hand somewhere on the left side of the belly. Let this be as easy as possible and just breathe a few times. Very full, rich, expansive breath. As though you can actually create more spaciousness within the body, which in fact you can. Start to make your way back to a neutral Shavasana, releasing the arms and bringing the shoulders back to center, and then uncrossing the legs. Take a moment just to be. And then bring the left foot over to the left edge of the mat and bring the right foot across to meet it, maybe crossing the ankles with a little internal rotation. Keeping the pelvis on the ground, scoot the shoulders an inch or two to the left. Reach the right arm up and over, hook the elbow, take the gaze down toward the left shoulder. Palm of the left hand rests on the right side of the belly. And again, full, rich, expansive breath. One more breath here. And then again, release back to neutral and give yourself a moment in Shavasana. Bend the knees. Let's move in and out of bridge, but we're going to keep the arms down alongside the body. Palms can face up or down, whichever you prefer. Try to shift your shoulders a little further down your back. Press into both feet evenly and inhale, float the pelvis toward the ceiling. Exhale, roll back down. 3 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do your best to keep the thighs parallel to one another. Inhale, lift, and the pelvis as square to the mat as you can. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Give yourself a breath here. Now hug the knees and the thighs in toward the belly. And start to take the knees around in some circles, maybe off to the left first. Sense the sacrum on the back side of the body. And as the legs are rotating, try to press down on the outer rim of the sacrum all the way around. In the yoga tradition, there is a direct correlation drawn between the mind and the lower back. So if we're looking to create spaciousness and ease in the mind, it can be very helpful to bring a similar quality into the lower back. Similarly, if we want more stability in the mind, it might benefit us to stabilize back. Switch directions. These rotations do a little bit of both. They stabilize through the core as you're moving the legs around. Speaking of which, you can let go of the knees and utilize the muscles in the belly a bit more. But we're also releasing some unnecessary tension or holding in that space. One more rotation and then back through to the center. And then just rock the knees gently away from the belly and back and toward the belly, loosening up through the sacrum a bit more. One more posture here to get us ready for some lateral stretches as well as creating space through the sacrum. Bring both feet to the outer edges of the mat. If you know the windshield wiper movement here, put that out of your mind and do this instead. Inhale with both knees up, and on exhale, keep the right knee up and just roll your left knee in, creating more or less a 90-degree angle with that left leg. And then inhale to lift the left knee up, and exhale to lower the right knee. So don't let your left knee open. Instead, think about it actually coming a little bit in toward the midline of the mat. Inhale, let's lift the right knee, and exhale to lower the left. Try to keep the sacrum on the ground if possible. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale, draw the right knee in toward your left ankle. Inhale, lift the right knee. And exhale, lower the left. This time, let's stay for a few breaths. Keeping the pelvis level, letting the left leg get heavy as the inner thigh draws down toward the floor. And then maybe the right knee rolls inward toward the midline of the mat as well. So there's internal rotation in both legs, obviously more pronounced in the left. Enjoy a few breaths. On the next inhale, lift the left knee, and exhale, gently lower the right. So again, we're here for a few smooth, steady breaths. And on the next inhale, lift the knees. Exhale, bring your feet back in about hip distance apart. Take a moment. And then let the soles of the feet come together and let the knees softly open. So this is a pretty direct counter posture. No need to go too far too fast. Just feeling into external rotation for a moment. One more breath. And then feel free to use the hands to guide the thighs back into the midline. Take a hold of the back side of the thighs, and if it's okay in your back, rock and roll up and down the length of the spine a few times. Otherwise, roll off to one side and then come to a comfortable seated position. That might be cross-legged, it might be kneeling, it might be on a bolster or a prop of some sort. Whatever you decide, go ahead and make your way there. For a little seated lateral stretch. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, let's bring the right hand down and extend the left wrist up and then gently. We're going to go from side to side a few times. Inhale, lift back up through the center. Exhale, lower the left hand, reach the right wrist up to come over. Inhale, back up through to the center. Exhale, stretch up and over. But keep going at your own pace a few more times. And the next time you have the right hand down and the left arm up and over, let's linger for a few breaths. Good. Put a little bend in the elbow to take some of the pressure out of the shoulder and use the elbow and the hip pulling away from each other to generate more expansion in the side body. Keep the back of the neck long, the chin tucked slightly. Maybe looking up underneath the left arm or down toward the right hand. Breathing here for 3. 2. 1 more breath. And on the next inhale, float both arms up again. Exhale, left hand down, right wrist reaches up to come over. Again, a little bend in the elbow, pulling the elbow and the hip away from each other. Creating expansion through the side body, determining which angle you want to hold the neck and the head. Breathing for 3. 2. 1. Inhale, sweep both arms up alongside the ears, reach up through the wrists and the top of the head, reach down through the tailbone and sits bones, and on exhale, float the arms down. Rest the backs of the hands on the knees or the thighs, close the eyes a moment, and bring attention to that screen, if you will, that space beyond the backs of the eyelids. And we'll play with a little twist here. Inhale the arms up again. And on exhale, hug the legs together, regardless of what sitting position you're in. Rotate the rib cage to the left. Bring the left hand down behind you somewhere, and then just cross the right arm over the left knee or thigh. So simple twist. Try to keep the pelvis relatively level. And just open up to the left for 1 more breath. Inhale back through to the center, both arms can sweep up. Exhale, let's twist the other direction. Inhale to create a little bit more length and space. And exhale, see if you can soften a bit more deeply into the twist. Inhale back through to the center. And exhale, let the hands come down. Let's make our way onto our hands and knees. Take a moment here for a little bit of intuitive movement. Just notice what your body might be craving in this moment and indulge yourself. And then we'll start to move into cow and cat. On inhale, glide the collarbones forward, lifting the crown of the head and tailbone. And exhale, round the spine. So building inhale again. 5 count inhale to come into your cow pose. 4 count exhale to cat. 6 count inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 count exhale. 7 count inhale. 4 count exhale. And 8 counts. Four count exhale. On the next inhale, come to a neutral spine, tuck the toes under. Exhale, hinge forward, and then lower the chest and the chin to the mat as you hug the elbows in to the side body, stretching through the neck and the throat. Inhale, press back up to the hands and knees. Exhale, flip the toes to child's pose. Inhale, rock forward, tuck the toes to help stabilize the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, lowering chest and chin, stretch the neck and throat. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, lower the chest and the chin. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, child's pose. Last one. Inhale, back to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, lower the chest and the chin. With the next inhale, slide through for baby cobra, pressing the tops of the feet down, rolling the shoulders back, drawing the sternum and collarbones forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift back up to the hands and the knees. And exhale once more to child's pose. This time, stay and breathe for a moment. With the next inhale, come to the hands and knees, tuck the toes. And exhale, find downward facing dog. In down dog, take a moment to wiggle, fidget, stretch, whatever your body wants and needs. Another minute or so, maybe sweep one leg at a time open, stretch into the hips a bit, open up through the side body, the belly, the chest. And whatever you do on one leg, more or less replicate on the other. Then on the next breath, come back to downward facing dog. And then inhale, let's lift the heels, soften the knees, look between the hands, and exhale, step up to the top. With the next inhale, lift about halfway, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Root down through the feet, inhale, rise, reach the arms up toward the sky. Find a little lift in the collarbones and the chin. And exhale, let the arms open out wide to come down by your sides. Good, give yourself a moment in Tadasana. And we'll move into a few salutations, nothing crazy. On the next inhale, sweep the arms out to come up. Again, a little lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to step back to plank. Inhale, pitch forward, keep the belly strong. Exhale, lower the knees, chest, and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale all the way back to child's pose. Inhale, return to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, down dog. In down dog, bring the feet together and inhale, lift both heels. On the exhale, soften the knees, roll the heels over to the right side of the mat. And then root down through your right foot especially and start to stretch through the left side body. You may end up shifting most of your weight into your right foot and right hand, and maybe the left hand reaches off of the mat a little bit, really opening up through the side body. Just one more breath here. Return to down dog. Same thing, inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees. Exhale, roll both heels down to the left. First, make sure you feel stable and steady, shifting your weight into your left hand and left foot, and then maybe extending the right arm off the ground, really opening up through the right side body. Keep breathing. And then make your way again to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift both heels, soften the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift halfway, lengthening the spine, strengthening the muscles supporting the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, sweeping the arms out to come up, lifting the sternum and collarbones. Exhale, release the arms out and down by your sides. Take a breath. Inhale, sweep the arms out to come up. And exhale, out to come down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Inhale, pitch forward. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale back to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, down dog. Good, from here, lift the heels and soften the knees again. Roll to the right heel down onto the ground, and then start to reach your left foot gently back behind you. From here, see if you can flip slightly to press your pelvis up and extend the left arm alongside the ear. So a little bit more of a back bend than a lateral. but still a little asymmetrical. Good, just one more breath here. And then release back to downward facing dog. And again, inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees. Exhale, roll your left heel down to the ground. Start to reach your right toes behind you. Flip and then press the pelvis up. Let the right arm come alongside the ear. Breathe here. Opening up, creating space. One more inhale. And on exhale, return to downward facing dog. Enjoy another breath. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step to the top. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reaching arms out to come up. And exhale, arms out to come down by the sides. Give yourself another moment here. With the next inhale, make your way to Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms down and back, hug the thighs together. Keep the low back long, but try to lift a bit through the sternum and collarbones. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to come up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, forward to come up. Exhale, down and back. From here, let's bring the hands together. If it's possible, interlace the fingers. Try to put a bend into the elbows, maybe even bringing your knuckles in toward your sacrum, and then soften the shoulder blades down and keep wrapping the triceps toward one another. Stable through the legs, the inner thighs, the lower back. Lift just a bit more through the heart space. And let's play with 3 or 4, 6 count inhale, 4 count exhale. Increasing space, both physically and energetically, in and around the body. After the final breath, release the arms. Inhale to straighten the legs and again reach up. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Exhale, softly fold. Inhale to lift halfway. On the exhale, continue to lift halfway, but heel toe the feet a little bit wider and angle the toes open somewhat. Then release the spine back down toward the middle. But from here, as we inhale, we're going to bend the knees, drop the pelvis more or less between the heels, and try to create some extension through the spine. Exhale, place the hands down again, lift the hips, and forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, a little bit of extension in the spine. Exhale, release to a forward fold. Do that 2 more times, easing into the hips a bit more. With the next inhale, as you come into that squat, malasana, settle in and exhale, remain here, but maybe shift a few times from side to side. Noticing where you might be holding on to a little extra tension, especially if you have a life that requires quite a lot of sitting. The hips can get a little cranky. And then find a degree of stillness, steadiness. That might mean slipping a blanket or something under your heels. It might mean a block or pillows underneath your sits bones. Maybe press the palms together to begin with. And again, try to find a little bit more extension in the spine and then broaden across the collarbones. And think about breathing more space into both the front and the back side of the chest. Relax the muscles around the face, especially the jaw. Good. Either stay like this, or if you need to, come out either to a standing forward fold or Baddha Konasana, almost forgot the name of that, almost like a butterfly seated with the feet together. Or try to press the inside of the thigh open a bit more with the right tricep. Bring the hand down for some stability, and then keep dropping through the pelvis as you extend the left arm up and over. Good, so still working with that lateral stretch. Maybe getting a little bit deeper. And if it's available and it feels like a good idea, gently sweep the arm behind the back. Either just rest the back of the hand against your hip or thigh, or maybe the right arm wants to wrap around for a little bind. If you're taking the bind, use it to broaden even more across the collarbones and chest. Release the bind when you're ready. Let the left arm float up and over, and then we'll take a little break. Go ahead and float the hips up. Bring the feet back to parallel and just hang for a moment. Let the blood come back into the legs. Maybe give them a little wiggle or shake. Press down through both feet. Inhale, rise, reach for the sky. Exhale, let's bring the hands together through the heart center. And then we'll come back into Malasana. Let the toes open to your preferred angle and see if it's possible to soften into that squat. If you want to use the hands or need to use the hands, you're welcome to. And again, take a moment just to shift from side to side. Same options apply, maybe just keeping the palms together in Anjali Mudra, or you can bring the left hand down for support, kind of hooking the tricep against the thigh, and then reaching the right arm up to come over, concentrating on this opening through the side body. If it feels like a good idea, you're welcome to wrap the right arm behind the back. Maybe the back of the hand just rests against your lower back. Maybe the left arm reaches around and you go for a bind. The binds are actually meant to create more liberty, more freedom in the parts of the body that the bind opens up. so we don't have to concentrate so hard on that spaciousness in the front body. So breathe into that spaciousness. Allow the mind to support freedom. And when you're ready, on an inhale, release. And on an exhale, let's float the hips back up again. Bring the feet back to parallel. Maybe give the legs a little shake. And then press down through the feet. Inhale, rise. And exhale, let the arms float down by your sides. Take a moment. We'll rinse that through a little bit. So coming back to the top of the mat. Inhale, come to chair pose. And exhale, release chair, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Inhale, hinge forward. This time on exhale, your choice. Either knees, chest, and chin, chaturanga, or lower all the way to the mat. And then inhale, either cobra or upward facing dog. For exhale, stay in your back bend. Give it one more breath in. And then exhale, take your time, make your way back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, float the right leg up. Give it a stretch. And then exhale, lunge the right foot through. We're going to set up for warrior two. So roll your left heel down and then inhale, rise. On the exhale, just settle into your posture. We'll move dynamically a few times, but before we do, soften the shoulders, extend out through the wrists, maybe palms facing up, soft. Okay? Inhale, straighten the front leg, let the arms float alongside the ears, and exhale, come back into the posture. A few more times. Inhale. Keep pressing down through the pinky toe side of the left foot so the back leg is quite strong and stable. Keep moving. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Just once more. And then concentrating on a little more space through the right side body, let your left hand rest along your left leg. And inhale, reach the right arm up to come over. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Really working on lateral stretch here rather than back bend. Keep dropping through the pelvis and extending through the elbow and wrist. And then inhale, lift back up. Exhale, place the forearm on the right thigh. Try to draw the sits bones in a little bit more so the tailbone is not flinging out behind you. Keep rolling your right inner thigh open, and then roll your left rib cage open as well. From here, inhale, extend the left arm. Good. On exhale, just float the arm back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, float it back. Once more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, stay. One more inhale, create some length and some space. Exhale, float the arm back. Rise, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the right leg, sweep both arms out. On exhale, let the arms come down and then scoot your back foot a little bit closer in. So we're going to take a slightly more narrow Trikonasana so we can concentrate more on what's really happening in the torso. Don't worry about putting your hand on the ground. Think about the hand either staying on the belly or maybe the back of the hand will press the inside of the thigh. We're not going to the ground. We're going to really focus on these straight lines instead of our triangle becoming more of a semicircle. Right hand on the belly, back of the left hand on the sacrum, drop the shoulders and feel the strength here in the belly. Let your back toes be rotated in slightly so you have less than 90 degrees. Right toes are open as much at a 90-degree angle as your body will allow. Inhale for a little more length in the spine. And on exhale, look over the left shoulder and just tip at the pelvis, coming into a triangle. Inhale, lift upright. Exhale, tip again. Strong legs. Inhale, upright. Exhale, hinging. Once more dynamically. Inhale, come upright. And exhale, hinge into your triangle Trikonasana. From here, keep the left hand where it is for a moment and maybe press the back of the hand against your right thigh to just help the spine rotate just ever so slightly, creating a little bit more length. And then if it feels wise, inhale, extend the left arm. And exhale, sweep it down and behind the back again. Inhale, extend the arm. Exhale, sweep it down and back. 2 more times dynamically. Good. Press into both feet. Inhale, sweep the right arm out alongside the ear and then rise up. Exhale, bring the feet to parallel and let the arms come down by your sides. Take a moment here. Soften the knees, swing the right toes open again. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. This is fun because if I lose my balance, I will fall from the second story onto the first. So we're not gonna let that happen. If so, it'll be highly entertaining and I'm so glad it's being recorded, but I think we're gonna be okay. Toes angled open, start to shift your weight into the right foot, and then in essence, reconnect to everything we just established in Trikonasana. Long spine, internal rotation of the floating leg, external rotation of the standing leg, maybe keeping the hands on the belly and the sacrum as before. Find a focal point, something that isn't likely to move, and if you want to, maybe open the arms. And try not to fall downstairs or anything dramatic like that. Let's breathe for 3, 2, 1 more full breath. And then on an inhale, soften, come back to Tadasana, let the arms float up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, either step to down dog or to plank and give yourself a vinyasa. Feel free to skip the vinyasa altogether. Feel free to modify it in any way. Maybe taking an extra full breath in your back bend. We'll gather ourselves in down dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale, lunge the left foot through. Setting yourself up for warrior two. On the next inhale, rise. Exhale, soften and settle in. Notice where you're holding on to tension that doesn't really help very much. Soft shoulders, long arms extending out through the wrists, soft open hands. Inhale, straighten the left leg, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come back in. Moving dynamically 3 more times. Explore the posture and explore how it feels to move the body and thus the mind through space. When you find yourself in your warrior again, rest here for a moment. Release the right arm so it's resting on the right leg. And then inhale, drop through the left sit bone as you extend the left arm up and over. Keep hugging the belly in so that we don't turn this into a back bend. It's a side body stretch. Breathing here for 3. Sits bones are still rolling to the ground. 1 more full breath. And then inhale to come up. And exhale, place the forearm on the thigh. Draw the sits bones in, draw the belly in. Looking over the right shoulder, inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, simply sweep it back. Moving dynamically 3 more times. The next inhale, again, the arm extends, but on exhale, let it stay. Keep reaching, creating space. 1 more inhale here. Exhale, float the arm back. Inhale, straighten the left leg, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release the arms down and bring your right foot in a little bit. Right. So again, less than 90 degrees, so an internal rotation through the right thigh, but a firm leg, especially rooting down through the pinky toe side of that foot. Left leg externally rotated, hip fairly open. The whole pelvis will tilt slightly this direction. That's good. We want to keep the spine as long as possible, but the rib cage is going to want to stack. Shoulders will stack as well. Also good. Left hand on the belly, back of the right hand on the sacrum. Try to minimize back bend in the lumbar spine. Inhale for a little more lift. And exhale, hinge into your triangle. Inhale, come upright again. Exhale, triangle. 2 more times, just feeling into this movement. Let it be a little bit more about the journey of moving through space than rushing to a particular destination. And the next time you find yourself in your Trikonasana, linger, maybe pressing the back of the hand against your left knee or thigh. And if it feels like a good idea, inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, let the arm float back behind you, looking over the right shoulder. 3 more times. With the next inhale, sweep the left arm out alongside the ear and then rise to stand. Exhale, bring the feet to parallel, lower both arms. Chill out for a second. When preparing for Ardha Chandrasana half moon, roll the left toes open to about a 90-degree angle. Same subtle internal rotation through the right leg. That's going to give you a lot more stability through the belly and spaciousness through the sacrum. Start to shift your weight onto your left foot and then just play with this balance. We were just in this posture in Trikonasana, so all we're doing is hinging a bit more and letting one leg float off the ground. Play with where you want your arms to be. Find your focal point and breathe. With the next inhale, softly return to Tadasana. Exhale, relax. Inhale, sink to Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Stay in the fold for a moment longer. Clasp the hands behind the back. If possible, interlace the fingers, and then reach your hands away from your back body. Take a moment here to let gravity open the shoulders just a bit more. And then bend the knees as much as you want or need. Keep lifting the knuckles away from the back, even as you lift back to a half lift. And then use this angle of the arms to help the shoulder blades press the spine a little bit further into the body. Take another full inhale here. And on exhale, release the arms down the backs of the legs, melt back into a fold, and step the feet back to plank. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, lower, all the way to the ground. Inhale, find a baby cobra. And exhale, release. Again, let's bring the hands together behind the back. Reach back through the knuckles. Extend through the legs. Inhale, come into cobra. And on exhale, lift the legs so you're in locust. Shalabhasana. Breathe here for 3. Spaciousness through the head and the heart. 2. One more breath. On exhale, gently release. And then we're going to relax here for a moment. So go ahead and bring one cheek to the ground. Relax the arms and the legs and just breathe. Bring the opposite cheek to the ground. Continue breathing. Bring the forehead to the ground. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift the hands and knees. Bring the knees out wide, toes touching. And on exhale, come into a wide-kneed child's pose. Start by stretching the arms as far out in front of you as you can as you press your hips gently toward your heels. And then let the heart sink. Continue to think about creating space in the armpits of all places. And maybe give your hips just a little wiggle from side to side. Extending out through the pinky fingers. Still stretching into the outer portion of the arms. For 3. 2 more breaths. One more. And then draw the hands underneath the shoulders and press yourself up. So you're sitting on your heels, but the knees are still wide. Relax here a moment. Maybe close the eyes and again, look through the eyelids to that space called Chittakash. Stay with the breath and just look. Let the gaze soften. Staying in either this or any other seated posture that may be more comfortable. We'll be here for about 4, maybe 5 more breaths. We want to create some space through the throat center. The throat chakra Visuddha is the chakra that is actually the most directly affiliated with the element of space and ether. So we're just going to use what we've got available to draw a little bit more in. Interlace the fingers. From here, we're going to keep the forearms and elbows together and place the knuckles right underneath the chin. On an inhale, lift the chin up, stretching through the throat. On exhale, open the elbows to the side, open the mouth, and breathe out in a long sigh. Draw the elbows together. Inhale, lower the chin this time. Exhale, lift elbows and chin. Inhale, draw the elbows together, lower the chin. Exhale, lift. One more time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, release. Bring awareness to the throat center and just notice if maybe you want to take the head in a couple of small semicircles. And concentrate on maintaining a pillar-like space in the neck and throat area. Now let's take a seat. Extend the right leg out to the right side and bring your left heel in toward your pubic bone. Keep the sits bones on the ground. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, bring your right hand down and maybe flip the hand so the palm is facing up and start to slide the hand out for now as you extend the arm up and over. Good. An option here is to press your left knee and thigh away or hold it so that you can open up just a little bit more with an anchor here through the right arm and the left knee. Keep stretching into the side body for 3, 2, 1 more breath. And then inhale to rise up. Exhale, set the hands on the knees. Maybe close the eyes again, just breathe. Another option is to keep the eyes open, but still gazing into Chittakash. Inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, rotate the sternum toward your right toes and then fold forward. Not quite Janu Shirshasana, still more of a lateral stretch. Anchor down through your left hip and thigh. Lengthen the back of the neck for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, switch legs. From here, inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, start by bringing the left hand down, reach the right arm up to come over. You may want to keep the left hand, maybe palm facing up on the ground. You may want to reach across and use a little bit of leverage here, like an anchor, to help you soften and open up through the right side. Once you find your variation, breathe for 3, 2, 1 more full breath. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, rest the hands on the knees. Either soften or close the eyes. Inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, rotate the sternum toward your left toes and then fold slightly. Try to reach out with the right arm. Maybe it just reaches. Maybe you take a hold of your calf or your ankle, or try to reach out toward the pinky toe side of the left foot. And breathe for 3, 2, Inhale to come upright. Exhale to relax. Enjoy another breath. Then let's extend the legs out in front, but bend the knees, getting ready to lie down. Give yourself a moment. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, extend the arms alongside the ears. Keep reaching through the wrists, and exhale, just roll the spine back down. Inhale, once again, lift the hips. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the sides, and then bring the hands together underneath your back. Roll the shoulders a little further under you. Keep pressing the back of the head firmly into the mat. Draw the inner thighs together, press down through the inner arch of both feet. And draw your sternum a little closer to the roof of the mouth. Breathe for 3, 2, 1 more breath. On exhale, release the hands, shift the shoulders out from under you, roll the spine back down. Give yourself a moment. Either extend the legs up in a very relaxed way, or give yourself shoulder stand for about 30 seconds with awareness specifically in the space of the throat. Smooth, steady breath. If you're in shoulder stand, soften the knees. Keep the neck supported as you roll back down. If you have the legs extended, soften the knees. Take a moment here, maybe find Happy Baby. Use Happy Baby less as a hip opener and more as a spine extender, pressing the sacrum and the shoulder girdle into the ground. And then if you want, you can rock from side to side. From here, release the feet, bring the thighs back together. Set the feet down. If you are happy and you just want to go into a spinal twist and then Shavasana, please go right ahead and do so. Or one last posture here, fish pose. Lift up onto your forearms, bring the backs of the hands underneath your tush, palms facing down. Hug the elbows together if you can, and then slide the hands a little bit further so that you're more on the backs of the wrists. Without putting weight on the top of the head, just let the top of the head dunk back and delicately make contact with the mat. From here, you can either keep the knees bent, you can straighten the legs, or you can let the legs float. For 3, stretching through the throat, pressing outward through the chin. 2, 1 more breath. If the legs are floating, sit them down, lift, and then slide gently onto the back of the head. Remove the arms. Find Shavasana. Give your body a chance to adjust. And then either stay here, or if you are craving a twist, give yourself a supine twist, and then move into your final resting pose. To corpse pose, Shavasana, with intention. Release the grip of tension, attachment, clinging or holding on. Soften and let go. Bring specific awareness to the throat center and create an effortless yawning sensation in the throat. Again, almost as though there is a pillar within the throat and neck column. If colors work well for you, a deep blue indigo-like color, pillar. And this pillar supports space, ether, this spaciousness is what keeps the body from collapsing in on itself. This spaciousness is what keeps the thoughts from crowding one another and competing for space. This spaciousness is what allows us to discern who we really are from who we are not, what is real, what is merely illusion, what continues to serve us, and what is ready to be released. Breathe effortlessly. Rest in corpse pose. And maintain a thread of awareness on this space, anchored at the throat. Continuing to rest in Shavasana. Maintaining that pillar-like quality of spaciousness at the throat center. Draw awareness upward to Agya Chakra, the center point of the space which the head occupies. And welcome the power of clarity, which consciousness becomes infused with when resting in this space. Enjoy a few effortless breaths at Agya Chakra. Feeling Buddhi Samvit, the power of discernment, switching on. With the next inhale, ascend toward the crown center, Sahasrara Chakra. And with exhale, descend down through Agya and through the throat, Visuddha Chakra, to the heart, Anahata. With inhale, ascend back up through the throat, through the midbrain, to the crown of the head. Exhale, descend from the crown, Sahasrara, through Agya, through the throat, Vishuddha, to the heart, Anahata. Enjoy a few more of these oscillations, passing very intentionally through each of these sacred spaces, the throat center, the head center, the crown, and the same back down on the way to the heart. And specifically, keep the space at the throat center open and free and clear. This pattern will change slightly. With inhale, we'll continue to ascend from the heart center, but just to Agya Chakra. And with exhale, bring awareness out through the eyelids to Chittakash, the space of consciousness in front of the eyes. Inhale, ascend from the heart center to the center of the head. Exhale out through the eyelids to that space beyond the eyes. Continue. And if it's helpful, apply the subtlest ujjayi. One more breath like this. Inhale, ascending from Anahata Chakra through Visuddha to Agya. Exhale out to Chittakash. And then maintain awareness at Chittakash. That space, almost like a blank movie screen, upon which consciousness can project images, impressions from the storehouse of memory. Maintaining smooth, steady, effortless breath, continue to gaze softly into Chittakash. Release any tension of expectation or attachment. And with curiosity and dispassion, welcome and watch whatever may or may not arise. And as you continue to hold awareness at Chittakash, you may also sense that with each inhale, prana subtly rises from the heart center through the throat to Agya Chakra. And with exhale, projects outward onto this movie screen, the sky of the mind. Resist the temptation to go looking for specific memory. And just let whatever impressions flash momentarily on this screen in the mind. Allow memories to come, and more importantly, allow them to go again. Rising and falling effortlessly. And as memories or impressions arise, simply witness them dispassionately. If a particularly sticky memory arises, and if it feels like that memory wants to linger for a moment longer, allow it to. But the moment emotion starts to percolate again, let it go. If you can stay free of emotion and just look at the memory without becoming attached or involved, feel free to explore with curiosity, seeking to perceive that which is real, the truth and nothing but the truth. Without any judgment and without any story. witnessing the event itself, free of the meaning assigned to it. Smooth, steady, effortless diaphragmatic breathing. When it feels the memory starts to slip away, let it go. Similarly, with a particularly delightful memory, witness dispassionately. Notice, observe. Let go of attachment and meaning. And without any clinging, when it starts to fade, let it go. For the next 3 or 4 minutes, continue to gaze softly at Chittakash. Smooth, steady diaphragmatic breath. Spaciousness in the head, in the heart, supported by spaciousness in the throat. Just a few more breaths here, gazing into Chittakash, not trying to do anything with the memory, aside from observe, to learn, gather information, with the intent to understand. And then begin to draw this screen of the mind back in toward Agya Chakra, down through the throat to the heart center. And with exhale, store it away. Inhale, draw it in through the eyes to Agya Chakra, down through the throat to the heart. And store it away. Once more like that. A few easy breaths at the heart. And an acknowledgement that every impression, every experience, every memory will continue to be with us in some capacity for as long as we identify with this body and mind. So the trick is not to forget, but simply to evolve our relationship with our memories. Unplugging them from any painful meaning and valuing each and every memory for the way in which it helped us to learn, to experience life, to grow, and to move in the direction of our soul's highest calling. Establishment in ultimate freedom and fulfillment that is everlasting. Go ahead and begin to deepen the breath. Bring a little wiggle into the fingers and toes. Stretch the body in any way that you'd like. If it's morning for you, bend the knees and roll to the left. If it's evening, bend the knees and roll to the right. And then breathe into the side of the body that is closer to the sky. When you're ready, gently rise. Mindful of this transition from corpse pose to a fetal position, back to an upright spine. Bring the hands together at the heart, bow the head. Honor your memories and honor the gifts that they have given you to help you become who you are today. And to know that you have the power to adjust, develop your relationship with each and every impression, each and every memory. So that any memories that may currently serve as a binding can be transformed into that which will set you free. Rub the palms together if you'd like. And when there's a sense of warmth or presence between the hands, you can place the palms over the eyes, breathing in once again. Letting the eyes blink open and moving the hands away. Okay. If you have a moment to grab a journal and just make any notes about any memories that may have popped up and anything new you may have learned about them. And if no memories popped up, how did you feel about that? Was there anything you were expecting to see? Did you bring some attachments into the experience? And through ongoing contemplation and consideration, just play with how you may be able to begin to intentionally adjust your relationship with any of these memories that may have surfaced or another memory that you feel ready to work with. Seeking to understand and to evolve understanding to acceptance, evolve acceptance to integration, appreciation, and eventually love. Alrighty, I will let you go. I'm going to enjoy my final night in Montenegro. And the next time I see you, some of you I'll see you in Bosnia. Some of you I'll see you from Tuscany. Either way, very soon. Okay. Be well. Love you all. Ciao, ciao.